to get my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
Imagine wanting to live your life, enjoy your new relationship, and just get your back blown out in peace, only for your ex to keep dragging you back into drama over a divorce that's been finalized for over a year. That's exactly what Teyana Taylor is dealing with right now with her ex-husband, Iman Shumpert. She's been trying to move on, minding her own business, focusing on her work and her new romance with Pierre. You know, Mufasa from The Lion King. But Iman seems determined to keep the mess alive. Recently, Teyana went live on Instagram, spilling all the tea about how Iman's been throwing shots at her through his music and skits, leaking their divorce settlement details, and allegedly even paying blogs to paint her as the bad guy. And if that wasn't enough, she's now filed a lawsuit against him, claiming he's behind the leaks that have stirred up a storm of hate from his fans. Let's unpack all of this drama because it's a lot, and Teyana's clearly fed up. First, let's rewind to the basics of this whole saga. Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert finalized their divorce back in June 2024, after 7 years of marriage and a relationship that spanned a decade. They shared 2 daughters, Junie, who's 9, and Rue Rose, who's 4. Teyana filed for divorce in January 2023, keeping it low-key at first, but by September of that year, she made it public on Instagram, emphasizing that infidelity wasn't the reason, just that they'd grown apart. She wanted to keep things amicable, especially for their kids. According to the settlement that eventually came out, Teyana walked away with 4 properties valued at over $10 million one-time 7-figure payment and a few luxury vehicles, including a $300,000 Maybach, a $70,000 Mercedes Sprinter, and a tour bus. She also kept full ownership of her companies, TaylorMade and Aunties. Iman, on the other hand, held onto a Miami condo, some properties in South Georgia and Decatur, and his Shumpert investments. He's also responsible for $8,000 a month in child support and covering the girl's private school tuition. At first glance, it seemed like a clean split. Messy, sure, but finalized. Teyana got a hefty chunk of assets, Iman kept some of his own, and they'd both move on. But fast forward to March 2025, nearly a year later, and suddenly, details of this settlement are popping up all over the internet. Blogs are running wild, with stories about how Teyana took Iman for everything he had, and the timing is suspiciously convenient. It happens right after Teyana goes public with Pierre at the Oscars, posting black and white photos of them together looking happy and unbothered. The internet goes into a frenzy, and not long after, Teyana's getting dragged online, with some calling her a gold digger and others accusing her of spitefully cleaning out Iman's pockets. Meanwhile, Iman's out here dropping new music and doing comedy skits that seem to take jabs at her, fueling the narrative even more. Teyana wasn't about to let this slide. She hopped on Instagram Live a few days ago, and let me tell you, she did not hold back. She started off by saying she just wants to live her life and enjoy her new relationship in peace. "What if I want to get my back blown out in peace?" she asked, exasperated. "You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?" She pointed out that Iman's been throwing subtle shots at her ever since the split, through his music, through skits, through whatever platform he can find, while she's been keeping quiet, working, and minding her own business. But the settlement leak was the last straw. She accused Iman of intentionally leaking those documents to make her look bad, especially since it happened right when she and Aaron started stepping out together. "He's been mad pressed ever since I started messing with Aaron," she said, confirming what had been speculation up until that point, that she's indeed with Pierre and Iman's not handling it well. She went on to explain that their divorce was supposed to stay private. "Divorce stuff is private," she said. "It can absolutely stay private if you allow it to stay private." She revealed that she'd tried to keep things out of court by arranging a mediation session with Iman to sort everything out quietly, but he didn't even show up. "Mediation avoids you going to court," she explained. "I'm not negotiating nothing. He won't show up to mediation? Cool, we'll go to court." She said she ended up stuck paying for that mediation herself, and when it failed, they had to hash it out in front of a judge. Teyana admitted that her biggest mistake was giving Iman so much grace during the process. Grace he didn't return. "It only backfired on me," she said, "because I gave a man grace who didn't. Give it back." The live session got even more intense when Teyana accused Iman of paying blogs to push a narrative about her. She claimed she has receipts, proof that he's been shelling out cash to get stories posted that make her look like she's out to ruin him. "I'm getting literal death threats from his fans," she said, her voice shaking with frustration. She reached out to Iman about it, hoping he'd call off the dogs. But his response? "I thought it was you leaking stuff. If anything, I stayed silent to protect you." Teyana wasn't buying it. "How does that protect me?" she shot back. "You staying silent while people think I took you for everything you got. How does that protect me with everything I have going on?" She pointed out that they'd been on good terms post-divorce. Or so she thought. "I didn't even know we was beefing," she said. "I hit him up like, 'Hey, baby daddy, what's going on?' And then I find out he's paying to ship this stuff around to trend his name." Teyana didn't stop there. She brought up an incident from last year, during the height of their divorce proceedings, when blogs reported that Iman had her utilities cut off. Power, water, the works, just to spite her. At the time, she denied it publicly, saying, "Iman ain't turned off nothing. We'll never be sitting ducks." She admitted on the live that she'd lied to protect him. "Who came running to the internet protecting him?" she asked. "Me. Granted, it turned back on the same day because me and my children will never be sitting ducks. But he did that." She said she covered for him because he's the father of her kids, and she didn't want him getting dragged online. But now, she's done shielding him. She also called out Iman for his behavior in court during the divorce. "I watched you say some really hurtful and nasty things about me dead smack in front of my face," she said, "and I still gave you grace." She mentioned how he'd done skits after the divorce, like one with comedian Rico Ojo, where he insinuated he'd been miserable ever since picking Teyana as his baby mama, saying, "Pick y'all baby mamas wisely, 'cause my homie ain't smiled in 10 years. Another skit had him joking about giving Teyana $1 million and now being broke, with a repo man taking everything. "He's been throwing shots at me the whole time," Teyana said. "Y'all didn't see me do none of that. I've done nothing but work and mind my business." The fallout from the leaked settlement was brutal. Some people cheered Teyana on, happy to see her come out on top after everything Iman allegedly put her through, like the cheating rumors that swirled during their marriage, which she cited as cruel treatment in her initial filing. But others turned on her, calling her a gold digger and accusing her of weaponizing their kids against Iman. One person online said, "She was so disrespectful to him. He should have left her for alienation of affection. I know he cheated, but she was legit using her kids to attack their own dad." Another chimed in, "Marriage is a business, and y'all never gonna learn. She was already rich. She just trying to F his life up." Teyana clapped back at those claims on her live, saying, "Show me the proof where I ever said anything foul about Iman publicly. I've done nothing but protect this man." Right after her explosive live, Teyana took it a step further. She filed a lawsuit against Iman. According to court documents obtained by People magazine, she's asking a Georgia court to hold him in contempt for leaking their divorce settlement. She claims the only way blogs could have gotten those details is if Iman handed them over himself, especially since the case was sealed after being finalized in July 2024. She's requesting a hearing, a $1,000 fine for his contempt, and payment for all her legal fees, citing his bad faith and vexatious conduct. She tied the leak to her Oscars appearance with Aaron, noting that it hit the media just days after those photos dropped, conveniently aligning with Iman's new rap song release, "Get It, Got It, Good." She argued that he's using their divorce to boost his own clout while exposing her to public scrutiny and hate. Iman's lawyer fired back with a statement to TMZ Sports, denying everything. "My client, Iman Shumpert, has never whatsoever leaked any allegations or claims stated in any of the pleadings," the attorney said. He adamantly denies that he has provided any information to any media. As agreed by the parties and as ordered by the court, he has not and will not disclose any of the contents of the now sealed file, nor will he reveal or discuss the substance or content of any orders or pleadings. Iman's team is begging the court to drop the case, insisting he's innocent of the leaks.